Okay, so I know you are all probably sick and tired of me talking about gay marriage yet again. But I thought I'd just make this video to set a precedent, a new one, in case I have to address anyone else on this particular subject. But truth, some of you might say, if you've been with me for a long time, you've already made a video on gay marriage, or at least gay rights in general. And that's true, and I don't think that there's much I can really do to improve on that old video, but I'd rather focus on one particular aspect of that, being marriage, because that seems to be the one that everyone is talking about. Now, for the most part, I'm sure most of you have noticed that people who tend to stand against gay marriage tend to be the religious. Not all anti-gay proponents are religious, but a very large majority of them are. And why they stand against gay marriage is because it supposedly breaks away from the traditional marriage involving one man and one woman. So, first of all, there's no such thing as traditional values of any sort, whether in marriage, whether in love, whether in sex. There are no such things as traditions, because these aspects of our lives are ever-changing, and they reflect what we believe and what we accept and don't accept at a particular period of time. And even if there were such things as traditions in marriage, that brings me to my second point. Why should that matter? Why should we follow this traditional structure of marriage just because it is a tradition? Arguing from tradition has never done anyone any good, and indeed it is a logical fallacy. Like, for example, slavery was a tradition that we've kept ever since, like, the dawn of time. So, only within the last couple of years have we really grown to think that slavery is unacceptable. But, what if I decided to make a case for slavery using that exact type of logic, saying that, okay, well, it was something we did back then, and it's not good to break from tradition. Like, it doesn't make sense. Thirdly, even if it was shown that, let's say, traditional marriage back then was somehow more successful than non-traditional marriage forms, why would that even matter, considering, again, it is a different time and place, and we believe different things? So even if traditional marriage was successful, or at least as successful as anti-gay proponents claim it was, then that begs the question of why it should even matter in a modern-day context. Lastly, things that were considered previously unacceptable have grown to eventually become acceptable in our society, especially with regards to marriage, because it's always been a bit of a touchy subject. And, at one point, people thought interracial marriage was never going to happen, never going to be legal, and now it is. At one point, people thought that divorce was very much something that should never happen, and now it's grown to be fairly widely accepted. Single mothers are now very widely accepted. I don't see any reason why we should discriminate against gays and lesbians trying to get married, any more reason why we should discriminate an interracial couple. So, I guess I'll finish off by saying, and I challenge anyone in my audience, anti-gay or otherwise, to prove me wrong, but as for now, I personally believe that the words evil, abnormal, unnatural, and wrong in regards to any context referring to gay marriage are words used by the bigoted and the idiotic of the anti-gay community, who really are essentially trying to disguise their own personal prejudices that they have against gay people. And I find it really sad, really pathetic, and to be honest, I think that if you're going to have this irrational fear or this irrational distrust or this irrational hatred against gay people, then at least be honest about it and don't be a dishonest and bigoted prick about it. That's what I think. Thanks for watching, and may the truth always be heard.